Hey, shalom, shalom. Your brother Raza Allah from GMS London camp. First and foremost, want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, of great millstone. Blessings to the hopeful and sincere elect. It's a quick upload. Seeing this headline here on the feed on the social media earlier on. It says 19 countries have now joined the genocide case against Israel. It says at the International Court of Justice, only the United States, Hungary, and Fiji are defending Israel, man. So basically, allies of America and Israel, Hungary and Fiji are defending them. But 19 countries out of all those other countries are basically saying what this guy Bibi has done over there in Gaza, Gully side, as they were saying on the islands, is an atrocity, man. It's a genocide, it's inhumane acts, similar to that situation that they said at the UN Assembly meeting when they had, I think it was 153 or something to that nature, countries came together and agreed that the transatlantic slave trade was the worst crime known to humanity, basically. The most inhumane acts known to man to this day was during the transatlantic slave trade, and that was done to the Israelites of the northern and southern kingdom, man. And then these so-called white people, US and Israel, and I think the UK, or France, one of them countries, are the only countries that agreed that basically agreed against it, went against the announcement of the atrocities that was done, during the transatlantic slave trade. So once again, the Israelis and the US, they're like a bunch of vagabonds, man. They're a bunch of fugitives and no wanderers, basically. Trying to escape justice, man. But just like predecessor, their forefather Cain. Because it says in the scriptures in Genesis, the 4th chapter, that he'll be a vagabond, meaning a wanderer, and a fugitive in the earth. A fugitive from justice, basically, man. Because justice hasn't been served upon you Edomites yet. For all the atrocities you've done unto the children of Israel, you are yet to stay in your captivity in modern day Egypt, which is and Babylon the Great, spiritually Sodom and Egypt. We are yet to stay still in your captivity, man, and the prey departeth not, as the scriptures say. But justice is coming, man, and the Lord's gonna restore balance, restore the force, so to speak, in righteousness through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, the English you call JC, and the rising up of the tabernacles of David, man, the house of David, which is being built right before your eyes, man. That's the real third temple, not no actual building that these devils are trying to build over there in the land of Israel. BB and them, trying to act like the Lord's dealing with these small hat rats, man. The Lord's not dealing with these mini hats, because you're on a walking abomination, man. You guys are a bunch of heathens, suffering from imposter syndrome, man. Trying to claim another people's heritage, but yet and still the Lord sees all the atrocities that you've done, and that's why the scripture says he requires that which is past. So you devils are not going to get away with your crimes, man. Even other nations, they're going to get a chance to put their hands on you, around your red necks, basically, in the kingdom of heavens. It tells you in Isaiah 14, they're going to be saying, is this the man? Cause all this chaos on the earth, these peasily red Edomite devils, man. Everyone, and that's basically the name of this, quick sit down is, thou art greatly despised amongst the heathens, man. And you are greatly despised, because all these nations are coming to realize you so-called white people are the curse of the earth, man. You're like a pestilence, a plague that's just festering in the earth, and you need to be eradicated, man. People are getting fed up with your shit and your shenanigans, your lies, your psyops, all your works of handiworks of manipulation and witchcraft. It's not working no more, man. People are getting fed up of looking at you and hearing you. So soon the Lord is going to subordinate you and put you back into that basis of men type state, and you're going to be the lowest of the heathens in the kingdom of heaven, man, which was rightfully so, Because you was made to serve the children of Israel anyway. You're a natural born slave. And we're the natural born rulers of this earth. You know, we're the natural successor, so to speak. Going back to the divine right of kings, man. It's ordained by, preordained from the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that we, his children, his people, the Israelites, was going to rule on this earth and maintain it in righteousness forever, man. So that's what's going to happen. And you devils ain't got no part in that, except to be slaves, starting with your wicked elite. So yeah, even the other nations agree that you devils basically are a bunch of fugitives and vagabonds running from, wandering in the earth, as it says in Habakkuk, the second chapter. You neither keepeth at home, man. You know, everywhere you go, you leave a trail of destruction, man. You never need, you will sticking your nose in other people's business. Woe unto you that increaseth that which is not his. You're very covetous, and these people have seen it live time. They've seen what you did to them Palestinians over there in Gaza, how you just straight up mercilessly killed innocent women and children, day in and day out in the thousands, man, and making excuses that he was looking for some terrorist, man. When you're the real terrorists, you're the real savages on the face of the earth. The IDF is like one of the biggest T organizations ever created, man. Mossad and all of that. And they're in league with America, which is another terrorist organization, that back each other basically. So yeah, man, this is just a quick hit. Everyone's seeing the handiwork of the so-called white man, and you can't run from your crimes, man, because proof is in the pudding, as they say. Everyone can see you for who you truly are. So these are just some quick precepts. It's for Jeremiah 49 and 14. It says, I have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, gather ye together and come against her and rise up to the battle. And that's what we've been prophesying. Your day of judgment is coming, man, and World War III is going to be the end and total decline of your Edomite administration on the earth, man. You devils are going down. You're going to go from riches to poverty, and within 1 hour, man, the Lord's going to totally obliterate and destroy your empire within 1 hour of those ICBM missiles being shot from around the four winds of the earth, man. And the plagues are not going to miss, and they're not going to return back, because the scripture says, to accomplish that which the Lord has sent out to accomplish, which is to destroy Babylon the Great, aka America, aka the land of Bosra, modern day Bosra, or Edom, if you will, which represents Babylon the Great, America. It says, for lo, I will make thee small among the heathen and despised among men. You're greatly despised. That's why this article's come out, man. You're greatly despised. BB committed all that genocide, and he's a warmonger. He's running from justice. He started that war with Iran to escape justice for all the war crimes that he committed against the Gazarians, if you want to call them, the Palestinians over there in Gaza. He doesn't want to pay for that crime, and then ushered in provocatively ushered in America, his little puppet pal, Nero, aka DJ Trump, to orchestrate an attack on Iran, which has backfired and put them into more of a quagmire situation than they thought. Now they're in the rabbit hole which they can't dig themselves out of, man. And it's only going to get worse for America and Israel, because that's the snare and the pit that the Lord set you devils up for, basically the orchestration of World War III. To gather you nations over there in the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, place of the Most High's judgment, over there in the Middle East, man, and that barren land, and Saudi Arabia and all those different lands, the Levant, to judge you, man. That's why all your armies are going over there, and there's constant tensions that's brewing over there, and there's no ceasefire, no blockade. It's going to stop, ultimately the World War III. Only thing that needs to happen now is the mark of the beast system needs to be implemented worldwide. And then, the ball's going to be rolling from then on, man. The missiles should be flying not too long after that, the ICBMs. And that's going to be the end of Esau's rulership on this earth, man. Including them Israelis, man, them small hat gutter rats over there, defiling the Lord's land. Talking about you're the Lord's people, but you got the biggest alphabet parade in June or July or whatever, coming up. Showing you that you guys are a bunch of heathens in the Lord's land, man. You don't belong in the land. And you totally defiling the Lord's land. That's why the Lord's got to destroy you. It's just modern day Sodom and Gomorrah out here. over there in Israel, man. Just like in Babylon the Great. Except America's never going to be rebuilt ever again after the nuclear destruction, man. You know, it's going to become a barren desert, the desolation. It says the terribleness that have deceived thee, thy terribleness have deceived thee, similar to what it says in Obadiah, and the pride of thine heart, all that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks. Yeah, you dwell in the clefts of the rocks, nation of Edom. You so-called Edomites, man. You know, not so-called, but you Edomites, so-called white people. So that holdest the height of the hill. It says that though thou shouldest make thy nest among as high as the eagle. Talk about your satellites and all of that, your space race. I will bring thee down from thence. It says, saith the Lord. And that's what the Lord's been doing since your space race during the late 60s, early 70s. The Lord's been bringing you devils down, man. And now you're at your final pinnacle of rulership, man. You know, we're at the precipice of your fucking end, basically, man. Excuse my French. Also, Edom shall be desolation. Shall be a desolation, Salakia. It says, everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at the plagues thereof. Yes, so everyone's going to witness. It's going to be televised when America, aka the land of Edom, is going to be destroyed by nuclear fire. All the nations are going to be seeing it worldwide through the World Wide Web, through via the satellites, man. That you put up there in the nest and the stars that you put up there to transmit, telecoms and communications and all that. Everyone's going to be able to see through the World Wide Web, the unicorn, America on fire, all at the same time. So no one's going to see it, no one's going to miss out, and we're definitely going to feel it because the earth's going to roll to and fro like a drunkard. At the same time that America's going to be burning on fire, the lake of fire. So it's a beautiful time, man. And the destruction of America will be televised, the revolution will be televised, man. Definitely. As in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, which America's modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and Israel too on steroids, man. As I said, they got the biggest alphabet parade they're gonna celebrate this year over there in the land of Israel. That's modern day Sodom and Gomorrahism, man. So what do you do? What happened to Sodom and Gomorrah in the ancient time? The Lord destroyed it by way of fire. So what's he gonna do to Babylon the Great and Israel, man? Fire and brimstone, man. This time it's going to be more sophisticated from them nuclear weapons. It says, in the neighbor of cities, saith the Lord. It says, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. Yes, so America's not going to be inhabited after the nuclear destruction, man. It's going to be totally annihilated off the face of the earth and made to be a desert, a big forbidden zone type desert that all the nations are going to know, yeah, that's where Edom, the land of Edom, was America, Babylon the Great, which was the most wickedest place on the face of the earth, run by the most wickedest people on the face of the earth, known as the Edomites. These red devils that you can see in chains right now, getting their asses whooped from sun up to sun down, those are the Edomites, man. That's in balls and chains, and yokes of iron around their neck. You devils are gonna get it, man. You devils ain't escaping nothing, man. And plus reincarnations in the scriptures, so you're totally pissed. There's no hope for you. There's no mercy either. So Obadiah 1 and 2 says, and behold, I made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. Once again, it's the same precept as the book of Jeremiah, same written there in the book of Obadiah. So it's gonna go down and read the spot here. I've got one more precept, I guess, and then I'll close out. The day of the Lord and the future. That's what it's about, man. The future is bright for the nation of Israel, the real Israelites, not for you damn heathens. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. Obadiah 1:15. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Yeah, what did you do unto the children of Israel? You put them in slavery. So slavery is going to happen to you. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword, man. He that leadeth into captivity must go into captivity. That's right. That's what you call righteous recompense right there. That's what you call payback is a bitch. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. As it told you in Job 4:8. Them that have sown wickedness in the earth shall reap the same. So that's what you're going to reap, man. You're going to reap what you sown, man. All the atrocities that you think you got away with, you ain't got away with shit. says, for as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, talk about the Lord's chosen, so shall the heathen drink continually. It says, yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though there has not been. Yes, you're gonna be totally persecuted and just brought down, man, just totally getting punished from sun up to sundown. You're not gonna be alone. You're gonna have all the other nations there with you in slavery too, but they want a piece of your ass as well in the kingdom, man, because you did them dirty as well, like you did to them Palestinians over there in the Gaza. You murdered them in the thousands, hundreds of thousands. You're starting all that war over there in contention with the Elamites, the Persians, over there in Iran. You know, so all these nations, they got an ought with you. You know, they got a beef with you, so to speak, and it's biblical. Japanese want your ass too, for we dumping them in Hiroshima and we dumping them bombs, big boy and little man, on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You know, you got hell to pay for all these nations, man, but especially the children of Israel. But anyway, let me just read one more precept. I'll read verse 7, and then I'll read my last precept and close out. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. Talking about your so-called allies. They're not really, no one's with you no more, man. You got your allies, so to speak, that's with you now, so to speak. But really, like the NATO and all that, there's as it says in the Daniel's 2nd chapter, you should not cleave to one another, man. There's a lot of disputes, a lot of infighting going on, mainly because of America's stout nature and their big mouth that they can't seem to shut, and not being able to humble themselves, man. You know, or take accountability for their wicked actions, instead of blaming everyone else for their, stupidity, or stupid actions, should I say. It says, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound unto thee. There is no understanding. There's none understanding in him. Yes, so all these other nations, so-called, that were supposed to be with you, are really against you now, man. Because you keep trying to pull them into these different provocations of war. Just like you got brought into the war with Israel and Iran. The Israelis brought you into that war. And now you've been doing the same thing to other nations too. Trying to get them involved in this war that they don't want to be involved in. And then, it's having for them to start picking sides, basically, who they want to support. And a lot of the so-called NATOs that were supposed to be against Iran, they're turning out to like be in favor with them, because regarding the resources and oil and all that, like France and so on and so it's like all your efforts to try and conquer the Middle East is backfiring on you devils. It's gonna turn out like what happened to Alexander. He tried to conquer the Persians and all that, or not the Persians, he tried to was it Persians? Yeah, I think it was. Or it was another nation that he tried to conquer, but he wasn't able to, just before his rulership went into disarray, basically, because he only ruled for 12 years. I'll have to double check that. But yeah, man, your so-called plans to rule over the Middle East is gonna fail. It's gonna lead to you to go into that third world war, which you're not gonna win the war this time. This Hollywood movie that you devils aren't winning this side, man. In this raw movie of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, you red people, the so-called white people, you Edomites don't win the end of this movie. You lose badly, So Job 15 or Job 18:5. Yea, the light of the wicked shall be put out, and the spark of his fire shall not shine. Yeah, so starting with you wicked elites, man. The light of the wicked is gonna be put out, and your so-called wisdom and knowledge that you had is dimming, man. That power that you had, the Lord gave you, is waning. It's not as strong as it once was when you first came into power and you first got your so-called independence over there in America. So-called manifest destiny and all of that. Now your power's waning, man. And the nations are looking at you like a laughing stock. You're a laughing stock on the stage. That's why they call Trump Taco and all that. It says the light shall be dark in his tabernacle, and the candle shall not And then the candle shall be put out with him. Slakia. The steps of his strength shall be straightened, and his own counsel shall cast him down. So that's what you're seeing. You're getting into all these disputes, infightings and all that. Your own counsel is going to start casting you down, man. Even within these so-called elite families, there's a lot of disputes going on. A lot of infighting going on, you know. A lot of back and forths. But who's going to really, control the new world order and so on and so forth. But it's all going to come to naught anyway. For all of them rich oligarch families, the cabal, they're all going to go into slavery, man. That's what the Lord's preserving you for, so it don't matter what plans you got for the future or where you're hiding. The Lord's going to dig you out of the earth, and he's going to enslave you by way of the angels and the chosen, nation, the Israelites, the Negroes, the Latinos, the Native Americans, starting with the elect. This is all what this is about, the elect being delivered from the hands of these devils, man. The last precept, Revelation 17:16, says, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, representing Neo in the EU, these shall hate the whore. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn it with fire, man. So ultimately, just like you're seeing all these councils and everyone saying that, BBs are based like straight out warmongers, a war criminal on the run. Just like Nero, DJ Trump is basically a warmonger and a fugitive on the run as well. They're going to be saying America in general needs to be destroyed now because, they're causing too much mayhem on the earth. And these nations can't put up with it no more. So even your own council is going to cast you down, man. Best believe that's going to happen in the near coming future, man. Abaratazar within the next months coming to the end of this year, going into 2027, those nuclear missiles start flying, man. But it's only after the MOT to the B is made mandatory. Then we know for certain that the missiles are going to be flying soon after that, because the Lord's going to speed up the time. It's going to make haste and cut the time short for his elect's sake. The time shall be shortened. So, yeah, man, as I said, the future's bright for Israel, and it's F for you other nations, man, especially you Edomites, man. Victory for the Lamb. And that represents Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is coming to, deliver his elect, man. So there's going to be victory for him and his elect, the Eclectos. So anyway, with that, I want to close out. Give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakach Chodash, and Shalom to the hopeful and sincere elect.